Hello everyone. Welcome back to Mary's Plans and Budgets. And today we are doing a budget closeout of May. As you guys can see, I have everything here, and I actually, to not make this video way too long, I actually have my numbers all sorted out already. So I have pretty much a sheet out here of all my numbers, completed numbers. So I'm just gonna go over with you guys and not add any of these numbers, just so that video won't take too long. Okay, so we're gonna start. And yes, I actually paid off my Home Depot card, even though if you go to my expense paychecks here, I didn't put any debt. I didn't put any extra money into debt, as you guys can see on my last paycheck, just because I didn't have enough. So in total, I still was able to gather up enough money to go into that snowball. And if you saw my cash unstuffing video, then that's where I got pretty much the money to make up for not putting any money on that snowball and paycheck 4. If you guys could see that video, then that's where I get the extra money from that snowball. And pretty much I was able to pay off my Home Depot card, so that is completely out. I don't have that anymore. And then we're gonna start here with May's budget, and we're gonna total our income. And if I total all of these up, which I did, I tripled check, it was 8,406 with 33. That was our total for the month. And it was quite hard, just because they did give me, on my first job, you see we have a tap out pay. And when I first started back again my job, they started at my starting rate pay. But I asked for if I could get my tap out pay, because technically I didn't leave the company. I didn't get kicked out. I didn't leave or anything. So they kind of understood that, and they gave me back my tap out pay. So they gave me back what I was making at the end before my work permit expired. So it kind of increased a little bit. And then I also got an increase in my second job, so that's why it's a little bit more as well. And so I'm pretty excited that I was able to get all of my pays back to normal, how they were before my work permit expired. So I'm pretty excited and thankful for that they were able to do that for me. So my total income was our total are, because this is my husband's and I's and my second jobs as well, so it's 8,406 with 33. Then we're gonna start here with our mortgage. Our mortgage is always gonna be 1,149 with 88. Utilities was actually 144 with 88 as well. Car loan was 690 with 85. Upgrade loan, it is a personal loan that me and my husband took out, and it's actually 1,019 with 5. The car insurance 128 with 17 cents. The phone bill was at 241 with 32. Our Terminex went down. Actually, it's at 67 with 48. Then we have our internet, and I changed the date to pay my internet, because my internet is literally the last day of the month, and when it processes until the beginning of next month. So I didn't want it to process until June. I prefer it processing during the month of May. So I ended up switching my internet's date. So instead of coming it out on the 30th of May, I ended up changing it to the 23rd of May. So that was a total of 84 with 32. And then our credit cards were actual 202. Then our subscriptions was actually $47 with 89. And also how I get these totals as well is if you go to my transaction log here, I pretty much keep track of everything that's coming out of my bills account. This is a checking account that my husband has, and I only add money in here that are specifically for the expenses for the upcoming week. For example, here if you go to my paycheck one, the upcoming expenses were due that week is here, and then I just add it to this account that comes from my transaction log here. So that's how I'm able to do it. But I do have like a rollover of a month because I'm pretty much a month ahead. So at the end of the month, I put in money so that June starts with the money that I need for my mortgage, as you can see, and also my light bill and water bill and gas bill that come out in the first. Also, the car payment comes out in the second or third. And also, I already have that money accumulated for my upgrade loan that's right here of 1019. So technically, I have those payments already by the beginning of the month because I accumulate them. Like right now in May, I accumulate them all throughout the whole month of May. Every paycheck I put money into, so now I have everything ready for the month of June that's coming up, and I pretty much have it already ready. And how I got a month ahead, if you guys don't know, but I didn't start I started my budget journey in January, I did, but during November and December, I knew my work permit was expiring and I knew that I had to help my husband with those bills. So I just decided to save and save and save throughout those 2 months without trying to spend anything at all, not even going out, nothing like doing that, so that I could accumulate those bills. And so when January came, I was already had all those bills by January, and I started redoing my budget since January here. As you guys can see, I started all of this in January with my debt and with everything else that I wasn't working. As you can see, I have some spots missing because I don't think I was working as much. And yeah, you guys, that's how I pretty much started with me being a month ahead. And so that is pretty much it. And I get, like I said, I get these actuals if like when I go to my transaction log here, I just go through it and see what my actuals were, and I just add them all up and put them here. As you can see, if I want to see where my phone bill is, I go to my transaction log here. My phone bill, Xfinity phone bill, is right here, so I know exactly how much it came out, and I keep track of that almost every day. Honestly, I look at my transaction log to make sure that it's coming out when it's supposed to come out and that it actually comes out, so I'm not behind or anything on any of my bills. So the total of all of my fixed expenses was $3,648 with 84. And if you guys hear noises in the back, it's just my kids and my husband as usual. And then we are going to our variable expenses, and those are like groceries, allowances, babysitter, gas, kid savings, and my sinking funds, because those could be variable depending on how much we actually get paid. And these are the fixed expenses that have to get paid and that have to come out first. These are the things I pay first. I don't do anything before I do this. This is the first thing that I do in anything. And then I go to my variable expenses. In groceries, we actually spend $344 with 83. And how I know that is because I actually keep track of my spending here. I have groceries in reds, as you guys can see here. I spend my groceries here and here. Then I have pets, I have it here as well. And then I also have my my eating out here in this green. Then I have car gas in this very light green here. As you guys can see, I only pump gas 3 times out of the month, and I usually do 2 times, but I believe we went somewhere and we had to pump again. I don't remember exactly where we went. So gas allowances, also how I know how much I spent in allowance. If you go here to my expenses here, I just add my daughter's allowance, my allowance, and my husband's allowance all together, and that was equal to 420. Then we have babysitter. Then once again I go to my expenses here and I go to my babysitter here, and I add up these numbers of what I paid, and the total was 200 of that. Then again, gas, I went back here. I also could just check really quick in my weekly check-in. As you guys can see, I have gas of 75 with 24, and I have a little C next to it because at the end of the month I do pay that back. It's just that I accumulate the money in my envelopes, and then at the end of the month I take it all out and pay that credit card off pretty much. So then I have gas again here in week 2. I didn't spend any gas in week 3, and I did spend gas on week 4, and in total of that was 163 with 73. Then my kids' savings, we actually put 138. And once again, how I get that is I go to my sinking funds here from my paychecks, and I go through my daughters and my sons, and I put all these together and I add them up, and it was equal to 138. Sinking funds was 653. And once again, I just add these total ups right here. I pretty much just added this totals up on my sinking funds here in my, if you guys can see on my paycheck 1 through 4, I just added them up and I have the totals here, and all I did was subtracted kids savings from it, and that was equal to 653. So the total in my variable expenses was 1,919 with 56. So now we're just gonna put it in our summary here. So we're gonna put 3,648 plus 84, and we're gonna add the variable, which is 1,919 with 56, and the total here was 5,568 with 40. And that's how I pretty much got these numbers here as well. And then what I'm gonna put is my income here on my little income dot here that I have is, we're gonna put 8,406 with 33. Then in my debt, I'm gonna put what I put as an extra debt payment, which is 1,222 with 36. And it was more. If you see my cash unstuffing video, it was actually more than that, but the only reason why I didn't put extra is just because I wanted it just to be at 0. And then I was a little bit off in paying myself back, so I grabbed whatever was left and I put it back into the other credit cards that I had used to zero them out, and now they're officially zeroed them out. So when I start my expenses in the month of June, I use my credit card and I make sure that I keep within my budget, and then I just pay myself back at the end of the month. I'm thinking of trying to do it every 2 weeks because at the end of the month seems kind of complicated and it's a lot. It was a lot in my cash and stuffing video, so I'm thinking of maybe doing it every 2 weeks like I did it in the month of April. So now savings. Now how I'm gonna get that is, if you go to my sinking funds here, pretty much I do my plus and minus and my balance. So we're gonna start with my balance here, and how I know is that I go to, I have my, oops, sorry. So I have my savings binder and my sinking funds binder here, and I have a spending, a tracker for my envelopes here. And so I have 385 for my daughter. So I'm going to put 385. Then I have 240 for my son. Then we did empty out medical, so medical is at 0. We had to pay a medical bill from my husband, so that's why it's at 0, and we're gonna have to start over with this envelope. Then card maintenance is 158. Birthday is at, I think birthdays is at 79. I forgot to write that down, but I have it written down on another page. Then I also have my house envelope here, and house has a 47. Okay, so now we're gonna do Christmas, and Christmas is at 105. Then we're gonna go to lawyer, and lawyer has 499. And then emergency still is 1,000. And Miss Layla from Budget with Layla actually gifted me the $1,000 placeholder, so now I have that in here. If you guys have seen, I think I posted a little haul video, I think it's called, and so I ended up pretty much showing what she had gifted me, because she has sent that to me. Alrighty, so we are done with our balances here, and now I know that the medical is gonna be at negative 120, and it did have more than 120 because I added into medical, but like I said, that bill came up and we didn't expect that bill at all, because I thought that the insurance had paid for it, but I guess I was wrong. It didn't pay for it. So then we have car maintenance, and car maintenance is actually at a plus $8, positive $8. Then we have birthdays, and is at a positive, I think, $4. Then we have house, and is at a negative 127. And I actually put a lot of money into house, but as you guys know, I was moving a lot of things and organizing my house, so I had to buy a few things for my house, and so that's why house envelope got depleted as well. Well, not fully depleted, but I wrote it in the wrong one. But it did get money taken out of that envelope, because like I said, I had a brother-in-law moving in, and I don't think he's gonna be moving in anymore. But that is okay. It's not a big deal. We still needed to organize the things we had to organize either way, which was mainly my closet and my husband's closet. Then we have Christmas, and Christmas is at a positive $35. Then we have lawyer, and lawyer was at a positive $68. Then we have my kids' savings here, and actually Junior, my son, was at a positive 59, and my daughter was actually in a positive of 89. So that's how it is. And the total for that was $2,513. Now I'm pretty glad that we weren't too bad from the starting balance, which means the starting of the month. We weren't too low. We actually were still at a positive, maybe 200 and something here. So I'm pretty just satisfied that it wasn't low. So what I'm gonna do here for savings is have this number of 2,513, and that it will be equal our savings here. So we already know also on my savings tracker. I like to have it separately because it is a savings for my kids. So I like to have it separately. So we already know that my daughter has 385. My son has 240, and we still have our $1,000 in emergency fund. So the total right there is 1,625. And like I said, we were at positive 89 here, and we were at a positive 59 here. So we are pretty much did what we were supposed to do. I am not a low income budgeter, and I show you guys my real numbers because I really want you guys to see how it is and how I'm paying off debt. And honestly, it's really hard work. I'm constantly tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm sleepy because I rarely sleep. I only sleep about maybe 5 hours a day or 4 hours a day because I am working two jobs, and my husband sometimes thinks about getting another job too. But like I said, I need him to stay because he watches the kids in the afternoons when I have to go to my second job. So the kids won't be completely alone without both parents. They still have my husband. And I do speak to my daughter about how important it is that we keep that me and my daughter have our own little girls time, because I want her to know that even though I'm working so much and I don't see her as much, I still love her and care for her, and I'm doing this for her future, because this debt is holding us back from our savings. So if I pay this debt at the end of the year, then I could have next year adding into more into our savings. And honestly, now that I did really good everything in number wise, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay off my car this year, but I'm hoping maybe mid year of 2023, or maybe even the whole year of 2023, I will pay this car loan off. But for sure, my goal is to pay off this upgrade loan. I hope it doesn't take long, because we're already gonna be in June. I still only have about 6 more months. And so my goal for June is not to spend at all. If anything, just for my birthday, because I do have my birthday in June, and just it will be just on that. But it's gonna be hard because if you go to my June, I have to go on a small trip, I guess, to Texas. And so we're definitely gonna be spending on a Thursday with my brother, because it's our only day together, and we might go to the mall with my nieces and stuff. So it might be a really quite spending day, because I mean, I'm gonna try to keep it within my budget. But yeah, so we're gonna have that, and also my birthday on June 30. And other of this, I want it to be like no spend days at all. I'm sorry guys, I was talking too much and I lose my breath. Okay, so this is pretty much it. This is how my budget closeout went. I didn't do the numbers, like added all these numbers with you guys, because I know that the video was gonna take longer, and I don't want this video to be too long. I wanted to get straight to the point most of all. Like I said, this is everything, my actual numbers. I want to show you guys my actual numbers to everything that I have. And is like I said, I'm no financial expert at all, but this is the way I've been doing it to help me pay off my debt, because my debt is my main concern, if anything. And sometimes things happen and things pop up, and I lost my goal in the month of May because of the expenses that I had to organize my house. But like I said, I don't have to do any of that in June, except for that trip for Texas and my birthday, and that'll be it. So yeah, I'm hoping for the month of June it'll be completely different. So that is pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys like my content that I show you guys. I pretty much do everything budget, and I'm gonna do plans with me on June. I haven't done plans with me in May because of the time wise, but I did make space in my schedules of work so that I could have time to do those plans with me. So I'm gonna start doing that in the month of June. And that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please like and subscribe if you love to join this little planning and budgeting family we have here. I really would love to have you guys, and thank you for the ones who have been watching and who have been my subscribers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.